line. There is no turning back.
Mick, I've never been more ready in my life.
Where do I sign so the title can come home to where it belongs? On the shoulder of the Queen. Give me the contract. Earth to Mick, I know you're missing an ear, but I said hand me the contract!
I hear you, Charlotte. But now it's time that you, both of you, hear me. Because I don't think you know what you're getting yourselves involved in when you step inside Hell in a Cell. Should be. You both should be. Look at me. Look at me and understand the future you might be looking at. Because it's me. I walked in a man and I walked out a shell of the person I had been. You see the way I walk. You see how difficult it is for getting me around. You see the look of pity that the superstars, both male and female, have. And you know why I walk that way? Because it hurts. So before I make you sign this, before you sign away the better part of your life, I need you both to look me in the eye. Look me in the eye and let me know that you know the risks that go hand in hand with making history this Sunday night at Hell in a Cell.
See you in Boston.
And I'll see you in hell.
We had a whole lot of superstars on this stage here tonight. But I want y'all to know one thing. This is my house. And when I say who's
word attack skills and vocabulary too. Cover hits in the distant distance, it's all brand new. You're through. I'm interplanetarian like Doctor Who. So who?
Fuck your beef, no relief. I step on stage, girls scream like I'm Keith.
Yo, what's up? It is another Ring Time Pro Wrestling, and we got Hell in a... Well, I won't go that far. Hell in a Cell. It's coming up this weekend. It's going to be bananas. We got 3 Hell in a Cell matches. Keisha, say hi to the people.
Hello, everybody. I'm stoked about the Hell in a Cell matches and Hell in a Cell in general. I might as well be because, I don't know how else to feel about it. What can you say? I don't want to see that. Yeah, no, that's not how I feel. Sorry. I'm actually pretty excited about this pay-per-view.
You can say it. It's just, you are entitled to your opinion. But hey, we're going to get into it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about all the shenanigans that is TNA, because behind the scenes, it is still a mess. Like, if you watch it Thursday night on Pop and you don't know nothing about what's going on in these streets, you probably be like, well, I thought everything was perfectly normal. Nah, man, they got a lot going on. And it's real court. Like,
right.
Not play court, real court. Now, some of the things that are being reported, I'm going to have a discussion about, right?
Right.
And I'm gonna speak freely and openly. This show, it may feel like I'm taking shots at people. I am not taking shots at anybody. I am just going to give you my perspective on the lay of the land. Also, this show, because I'm going to talk about a lot of different people, things I heard this week, and stuff that I may have heard on different podcasts, whatever. If it sounds like I'm saying fuck Bruce Pritchard, I might be saying fuck Bruce Pritchard.
Oh, Lord,
yes.
help me.
Brother Love himself has fallen in my crosshairs. And I don't love you. Bad impression, but that's okay. We're going to keep this thing moving. Let's talk about Raw, Keish. Because I felt like it popped off the week good. We could go through the highs and lows. I'll tell you kind of what's wrong with the show. But here's the thing. You don't depend on these shows to sell pay-per-views anymore. Even though the go-home show should sell the pay-per-view, I don't think many people walked away like, I gotta see this thing. At least I did, right? But because I've already paid for it, because I am a proud subscriber, I'll go check it out, even though I could be here watching football. It's Sunday. The NBA is back, Keish, in full effect. Who knew?
Hey, everybody knew. Trust me. We're going to talk about that, too.
Hockey is popping. The World Series is on. All four major professional sports is on and cracking right now. I'm going to tell you some parallels between professional football and wrestling because they have one thing in common right now. The ratings are down, and the ratings are down for some of the same reasons. So we're going to get into a lot this show. But like I said, let's bring it back to Raw. Jericho opens up the show, and he announced the triple threat is canceled, Keish, because he can't find the list. Now, is this one of the more hilarious gags in the history of Jericho? I wouldn't say so. I don't know. I think it's, the list. I love how he can constantly reinvent himself, and he constantly adds something new. Right?
Right.
I like the Jericho that when he came back and he turned heel after he cut his hair and he started wearing the suits and he started talking real slow like this.
Yeah.
That Jericho was fun. I like the Jericho. This one here with the scarf. Like, I don't know what made him think about adding a scarf. But don't nothing look douchier than that scarf.
Yeah. I mean, oh my God.
And then just the look he had when he comes to the ring, you're like, man, I want to smack that look off his face. But that's what you're supposed to do. Like, he gets you in that mode, like, I can't stand this guy. Right. And his dynamic with Owens is very funny. That's my best friend. But it's also kind of sick and sadistic. And he didn't believe it. That's his best friend, Keish.
Right.
Also, with that triple threat match, who booked that? Because it sounds like it's somebody who don't like Seth Rollins.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. I never understood that from the beginning. I was like, okay, seriously? How did this match come about? Because I don't think Mick Foley himself would have booked a match like that. You know? I would say Stephanie would. But of course, she's not going to take responsibility for that. So I'm just
technically she's not the matchmaker.
Right.
That is not a function of her job description. Now, that's mixed. Now, here's the thing, Keish. And I'm talking to this as like, we're jumping in and out of kayfabe, right?
Yeah.
Part of me is like, as the analysis, part of me is like, I think this is real. Okay?
Right.
So when I'm talking all over the place. Also, can I get to the magic that was Seth Rollins at this show? Well, I'll get to that later. Because he was magic late in that show.
He was.
Yeah, the triple threat was canceled. But then Owens and Stephanie show up. Rollins appears with the list. And, we get things back to normal. And I thought it was an okay segment. I'm tired of the segments that open the show, but I could deal with that.
I just want to see people wrestle, you know? Like, we've completely gotten away from that, and it's really annoying at times. Especially considering that I see all kinds of shows from the past where that's exactly how the majority of them started, you know? It was a match. It was somebody coming out getting ready to wrestle. It was a title being defended, something, you know? Promos happened in the beginning, but they were here and there. They weren't every show, and now it's just every show. And it's really, and it's kind of like, okay, but does this really have to happen every time you have Raw or SmackDown? And I throw SmackDown in there because they do it too. Like, it's like, okay,
no,
is this
it's
necessary?
The same contrived format. It's the same contrived format. They've done that for a long time now. I don't know whose idea it is, even though they want to change the ratings, but they don't want to change some. The problem is that they still want to be an entertainment company, right?
Right.
So all of this screams entertainment and not wrestling. I thought the advent of adding the cruiserweights to Raw would alleviate some of this heavy promo-ish.
Right, but it didn't.
Because here's the thing. With those cruiserweights, I mean, that's how you pop off your show. That's how WCW did it. You pop the show off with the cruiserweights. They set up the show while they talking in the first match, and then we roll down. But the cruiserweights are give you that energy where you like, all right, cool, I'm messing with the rest of the show. I can tell you how that situation is being mismanaged also, but that's, neither here nor there.
No. We can go into that, but I guess we could do that later because I have my own opinion about that too. And trust and believe, it goes along the same lines because I was excited about the cruiserweights, and I still love them, and I still am excited about them. But the way that they are being handled is a problem for me, and it definitely just plays into the rest of. It plays into the rest of how the rest of the show is managed and how it's managed from week to week. But at the same time, that's also an issue. I have the same issue I've had with the way that they do things with the rest of the show, before the cruiserweights, I have with them adding them in now because it's just the same thing. It's the same thing over and over, and it's just kind of like, okay, like, where's the give? Where is the give? So I don't want to go into a random rant and rave right now. I let us continue talking about Raw because this is actually important for this time period right now, and I definitely want to continue to discuss it. So I will leave that alone for a moment.
Not a problem. We can just stay rolling downhill. Enzo and Cass. Well, Enzo takes on Karl Anderson, and Enzo got a win.
Boo! Oh no, sorry, I wasn't doing that. That was not. I like Enzo. I was not booing him getting a win.
Tell him how you really feel, Keith.
No, I'm serious. Like that's really how I really feel. I was not booing Enzo getting the win over Karl Anderson. I like Enzo. I hate Karl Anderson. Like, seriously though, I can't stand Gallows and Anderson. Like, and it's not because of their wrestling abilities. I think they're awesome wrestlers. They suck. Like, I guess that's how I'm supposed to feel about them. Yeah, that's how I feel about them. Like, they're awful. They didn't have to cut the mics, Keith. That's all I'm saying. They didn't have to do them like that. Like, it was... Enzo and Cass are, like, very highly entertaining. It's funny. They're entertaining, and I wish some of that would have rolled off on Carmella. That's all I'm saying. But that didn't happen either. So there's that, But I was not I don't want that to be misinterpreted. That was not my intention. I was not blowing his win. I'm so happy he did win because that was an awesome match. Okay, let me calm down. Let me back up because I know it's like now it's like, okay, Keisha, who are you trying to convince? Us or you? Neither. I'm just throwing it out there. Okay. I started it. I know I did, but it's fine. Okay, so yeah, Enzo beat Karl Anderson. It was an awesome match to me personally. I thought it was an awesome match. It's nice seeing Enzo and Cass in singles competition, I must say. I'm not saying they should break up or anything. I'm just saying, like, it's nice seeing them wrestle individually. You know, I like them as a tag team too, but their individual competitions are very entertaining in themselves, especially with Enzo, because Enzo is not like he's significantly smaller looking than the other wrestlers. So, of course, it's not more entertaining to see him than Cass, but it's interesting to see him in competition against wrestlers by himself.
No, yeah. Here's the thing. I thought, like I said, I said it's shocked Enzo got a win because usually in these situations they find a way to make him lose.
Right.
Like he's entertained and then they find a way to make him lose. Their match is going to be interesting Sunday because generally these are two teams that they always make lose at the big event. Because I think the same thing happens with both of them. Because I think both of these teams, we believe, should be pushing for the tag team titles.
Right.
And, you know, they moved Gallows and Anderson off the ball after a point. Obviously, in the story, it felt like they should have won. Enzo and Cass keep climbing up and then slipping down. And I don't know why, but okay. I thought that match was good. Bayley and Dana Brooke brawled after their arm wrestling match.
Of course.
Cesaro and Sheamus defeated the New Day. I got some problems with that match. One, just the scheduling of it.
Yeah.
You know how I feel about champions wrestling their challengers. Y'all literally just had the match before the pay-per-view.
Right.
Already did the singles thing. That was good enough. And the one thing they did it with like Big E and Kofi.
Right.
Okay. Generally with the New Day, like if you have a match with like Xavier Woods and Kofi as a test match, I'll roll with it because that's not going to be the A-line for the pay-per-view. But if you go use Kofi and Big E, y'all just having a match right now. Y'all might as well put the belts on the line.
And it killed me because I said the same thing. I was like, well, why are they having this now when the pay-per-view is Sunday? Like, this is ridiculous. Like, I hate it when they have the match. Like, they have the two competitors for the pay-per-view face each other before the pay-per-view and after. Like, it's really annoying because it's like, okay, that's the whole point of it being a pay-per-view. If y'all are going to wrestle right now, then what is the point in y'all wrestling at the pay-per-view?
I guarantee you, there will be a rematch, regardless to who wins. Rematch, Monday Night Raw, right?
Right.
Now, that will be 3 matches in 1 week. You know what I mean?
It just doesn't make sense. Like, in the past, if this happened, there's always been some kind of interruption. There's always been some reason why it didn't happen. You know, it might have been scheduled, but then it was like, nah, we're going to shut it down. Not for it to fully actually happen and then happen again at the pay-per-view, and then happen again after. It's like, why? You know, I'm glad that the network actually shows pay-per-views, because it's like, why would I pay $69.95 or, you know, $70, $80 if you're going to have the pay-per-view on Raw the next night? Like, I might as well just wait till Raw happens, you know, or I might as well watch Raw, you know, the Raw before the pay-per-view, because 9 times out of 10, you're going to have the match on there. Oh, I could just see it then. That's why I wasn't so enthused about the triple threat being scheduled, because I'm like, why would Rollins face Owens right now? Granted, it might not be in Hell in a Cell, but the match is still the same. It's still the number one contender facing the champion before the pay-per-view. For what? I don't think that it's a good idea to make that kind of decision. Like, who decides that this is okay? You have too many people on your roster for this to happen. Like, this is not necessary. And that's something that we've stressed time and time and time again. Like, it's not necessary. I understand, like, if this was a situation in which you were forced into to where, okay, you have to have the show, you need people to make the show happen, you know, you don't really have a choice, then that's one thing. But you have a choice. You have plenty of choices to stop this from being an actual match on the show, not even a week before the pay-per-view happens. So why do it? I just don't get it, you know? Because when you watch, I'm pretty sure when I see Hell in a Cell Sunday, the match is not going to be too much different. Like, unless you're going to have a different outcome, that's pretty much all I can really think of. It's not going to be too much different. So, I don't know. I wasn't enthused by it, and I definitely, now the match for Sunday has become a little less interesting, to tell the truth. Because had they not done this, I would have been all of them for it, but now I'm just kind of like, okay, so.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. They lost on Raw. I'll get into why. The New Day will win Sunday. I mean, we've discussed it before, but yeah, it's going to be kind of interesting.
Right.
I'm going to tell you, interesting match for this week. Bo Dallas defeated Curtis Axel, right?
Right.
Curtis Axel got a hell of a pop. Now, I heard they confiscated some Curtis Axel signs, even though I did see some on the show.
What?
So I don't know how true it is. I don't think he was supposed to be over in Minnesota. But you know how people love their hometown.
Right.
Curtis Axel, a.k.a. Joe Hennig, is the grandson of Larry the Axe Hennig, legendary wrestler, former tag team champion at AWA. Where was the AWA based out of, Keish? Minnesota, right? This is Vern Gagne's promotion.
Right.
The AWA also gave a start to a guy named Kurt Hennig, and he became world champion at that company. Kurt Hennig went on to become Mr. Perfect in the WWE. Hall of Famer. One of the greatest ever. Top 5 Intercontinental champions of all time. Right?
Right.
So third generation star, Curtis Axel, who has a name that specifically acknowledges both guys. Keish. He's going to get some recognition. And then you let him talk.
Of course.
He's going to get love in Minnesota, right?
Which, yes.
Also, I'm going to tell you about another guy who got love, and they said Vince was pissed. And this will tell me that Vince lives in a fucking bubble and doesn't get out enough to... Like the thought process doesn't click. Golden Truth defeated Shining Stars. Ain't nothing really to talk about. Highlight of the show, the women's contract signing for Hell in a Cell. That Mick Foley promo, Keish. Did it touch you?
No. No.
It didn't touch you? Like, you didn't get emotional?
No. And this is why I didn't get emotional, right? I didn't get emotional because, okay, I didn't get emotional because I was watching and I was just kind of like, okay, I thought the promo was absolutely awesome, but I wasn't moved emotionally because I am just a little bit, it's funny because I was just a little bit too stoked about this match happening.
Because you're dead inside. No, okay.
Like, whatever. I was a little too stoked about the match happening. Like, it's funny because in my mind, I was really kind of like, oh my God, Mick, please don't talk them out of making this match happen. Like, I really seriously was thinking that the whole time. Now, the thing about about his promo was, I might not have been emotionally moved, but I was completely paying 100% attention to everything that he was saying. Like, it was like, man, you know, this guy has been through a lot, but I do not need him to talk them out of this match. You know, I seriously was like, this is going to happen. Sign the contract. like I was sitting there looking at Sasha and Charlotte, like, sign the contract. Like, just please make my dreams come true and sign the contract. Like, just make the match happen, please. Like, I was too busy rooting on the match to happen for me to be like, okay, you know, I understood his points. Now, don't get me wrong. I heard everything he said. I understood his points. I actually agree with a lot of it. But at the same time, I have to remember that these are two adults. And, like, they understand. If as long as they understand what they're getting into, once he's said and done, and they still sign this piece of paper saying, I'm going into this match, I'm going to do this, then part of me is 100% satisfied. Like, I was so excited when they both picked up that pen and signed that contract. Like, this has to be one of the best contract signings that I have seen in a very long time. And I say that not only because of the promo itself and the two ladies going back and forth, but they didn't fight. Like, I felt like this was one moment where there didn't need to be a physical altercation. Like, had they hit each other, I would have been pissed. I would have been like, no, God, please don't end it like that. You know, I was hoping that neither one of them flipped the table and did all kinds of extra. Like, I was really, like, glad that it ended the way that it did. So all this for me was really exciting. If you want to say that I was moved, I was excited. That's where my emotions and feelings come in at. I was way too excited about this entire segment in itself. So, but I felt like Mick was gonna. He was really in his feels, man. He was really in his feels, and I understand why, and I get it. I mean, it's not too long ago that I just watched his first Hell in a Cell with The Undertaker, where he got thrown off the top, you know? But if they want to do it, let them do it. you know? Like, that's always been my whole standpoint. If they want to do it, let them do it. Because that's that's what they want, then let them have it.
So I wasn't worried about that. That I wasn't worried about. I thought he connected on a really deep level. I'll give you examples. One, he regrets that Hell in a Cell. I want you to understand that. He honestly regrets it. He regrets the things he did. He thinks he pushed it too far. All are true. Okay, despite the moment that we got and everything that we saw, yeah, that should have never happened, right?
Right.
And I think it was also costly to the business at a later date, and we can get into that later on. But he honestly wished that moment never happened. But he is cautious to guard. Okay? Like, that was real for him. That was a shoot. He didn't mind if they were going to do it. He just wanted them to fully understand what they was getting into. And the idea behind it. Because he's known Charlotte. He's known Rick for forever. You know what I mean?
Right.
And despite whatever differences he's had with Rick, the family's been good. And he didn't want to see that happen. Sasha, he connected to her story at a very emotional level. I mean, he had met her a few times when she was a kid, because Snoop, plus she was just a fan, so her family always brought her around. Then, as an adult, he connected with her because she, her inspiration is Eddie Guerrero. The kids gave her something from Eddie's. Like, a lot of things tie up, right? Like, he has these relationships. I think Mick, kind of with these girls, it's just like with Stephanie. Him and Stephanie's relationship is very different. I gonna say he sees him like his daughter, but just, at least at worst, big brother. You know what I mean? So he is being responsible in that element and feel like he got it explained, and in that element he laid out some legit emotion. Like I bought it, hook, line, and sinker.
Right.
So that's all I can say about that one. Rich Swann defeated Brian Kendricks. I really wasn't there for that. Braun Strowman did not battle Sami Zayn.
No.
And to be honest with you, I'm not here for a Braun Strowman Sami Zayn match.
I mean, why? Like,
yeah.
I think that's what I got from Monday. I was just kind of like, is this really finna happen? Because I really wasn't really too enthused by it either. So I can't really say I was like, yeah, Sammy, go out there. No, I really wasn't. Because it's such a mismatch, Like, I'm not saying the mismatches and shouldn't happen, but at the same time, like, this makes no sense, I know that Braun wants competition, but it was just kind of like really random. Like, it's still really random, And Sammy might want to fight, but it's like Sammy, like, we just got it was just proven to us Monday that this fight ain't going to be a fight. Like, just let it go, So I guess I just don't know how to really feel about that, except for just like being like, okay, this isn't real, Like, I don't know how else to feel about that. It's like, all right, this isn't real. Like, that's not happening, and we're just gonna be done with it. So hopefully if not now, sometime very seriously soon, that they're just done with it.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. They got to substitute somebody else in there. So hopefully somebody plays Big Brother, rescues Sammy, and we get a real match with Braun. Who? I don't know. I'm sure a Big Show coming back soon, but I don't want to see that, Keish.
No, not at all.
Elaborate dudes in the ring. Flip side, fast forward. Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman responds back to Goldberg.
Of course.
Remember I was talking about Vince and anger about what was happening with Minnesota? So
Right.
he thought Paul Heyman could get Brock Lesnar booed in Minnesota. I'm telling you, what the fuck is Vince smoking?
Right.
It's Minnesota. It's Brock's home state. He still live up there. He got a farm there. Like, he loves that place like no other. You know what I mean?
Right.
And they love him. National champion. University of what? Minnesota, Keish. They're not about to boo that dude. Like, they thought they could get the crowd to chant Goldberg. And maybe this is a stroke Goldberg ego, but they're not about to do it in Minnesota. You better come to Atlanta and get that Goldberg chant.
Right.
But that's the thing, too. Like, okay, that's like coming to Atlanta and expecting Goldberg to be a heel against Brock or something. You know what I mean? Like, it's not going over that way. That former Falcon, former Bulldog, former WCW based out of Atlanta company superstar ain't getting booed in Atlanta.
Right. So what makes you
Brock
think
can't get booed in Minnesota?
Exactly. I don't understand. Vince, you can't be upset about that happening. He's in his home state. People love Brock from there. He loves being there. Like, it's nothing about that place that doesn't scream Brock Lesnar, you know? Like, I don't understand why you would be upset about that. Because that's not what you wanted to happen? Well, that's something you can't control. Period. Like, you can't. There is nothing you can control when wrestlers go home to their hometowns, regardless of if they're a heel or not. Like, for the majority of the times that I've seen it, and there might have been times where I could be wrong, and I probably am, but for the majority of times that I've seen it, the crowd loves them. The crowd is going to cheer for them. That's it. Like,
you could get booed. I see Seth Rollins do it in Iowa, right? After he became world champ. But how do I say this without trying to be? At that moment, Seth wasn't no Brock Lesnar, right?
Which is true. This is true.
Like, Brock is a cult icon, and that's in that state. No, you know what I mean. And speaking of Rollins, so Rollins actually won the triple threat match. He defeated Owens and Jericho.
Right.
It really wasn't a triple threat. It was more of a handicap. I was never more amazed with Seth Rollins. Like, the first 15 minutes of that match, he keeps Jericho and Owens separate and works them both. It was an incredible performance. It was an incredible one-man show.
Right.
I mean, the other two dudes were there, and I mean, they were incredible performers, and they held up their part of the bargain, but clearly one dude stood out.
Right. Without question. Without question.
Right.
So it was good. It was definitely it was worth seeing. But you're right. I mean, granted, it was more so of a handicap match than it was a triple threat, but it was definitely worth seeing. It was worth seeing. I actually didn't think that it was going to happen. I really thought that it was going to find something else, you know, but no. I'm glad that it did, personally. It was worth seeing after it actually. I just don't know. Like, I don't know. It definitely showed off Seth Rollins' skills. Seth Rollins' skills were definitely displayed in the greatest way possible at that moment. So it definitely was a punch to everyone that says that he can't do it.
Right.
I really was excited about that.
Right. But with that being said, Keith, we're going to wrap up this early part of the show. We'll come back. We'll do birthdays. We'll knock out this news, which is go beat TNA Heavy again. Because why? New lawsuits, and one is in court already. So
Lord help me.
We'll get you caught up because it is getting messy over there. So, and we're going to find out, Keisha, could Dixie Carter be a shyster? I'm
Maybe.
saying she is. I'm asking, could she be? So, because that's a definite, because when people start getting sued, they start looking for other people to sue. And you're not suing me, bucko.
Right.
With that being said, Keish, we gonna come back on this other side of this break. So for everybody else, see you when I see you.
Cactus Jack. Joey, don't you think you're being just a little bit too hard on the franchise? Can't you see that this franchise is a man with a broken heart? Put yourself in his place. Haven't you ever had your heart broken? No, I'm the man who goes out there in just a few short minutes to achieve my destiny as a heavyweight champion of the world, but I can't help to think of Shane Douglas a broken man. And despite what he may have said about his addiction to women, I happen to know what broke Shane's heart was not a woman, was not a female being. It was the belt. You see, Shane, you don't have a weakness for the women, although you might like the world to think so. You've got a weakness for the gold. That little symbol that tells you you are an important man in this world, Shane, that you're not a mid-card wrestler. Well, I'll stand here right now and I'll tell you you're not a mid-card wrestler. What you are right now is the link in my journey to the heavyweight championship of the world. And Shane, I gotta face the fact that you are a man with an obsession for that belt that makes O.J. Simpson look like a matrimonial philanthropist. So Shane, you don't look at Cactus Jack and say, hey, my best friend is on his way to fulfill his destiny. You look at it like, hey, my best friend's trying to nail my old girl, and he might do it better than me. Well, Shane, snap out of it and call this one down the line, or I'll send you down the line on a very rocky road to Stamford. Bang, bang! There you have it from the challenger, Cactus Jack. Tonight, it's our television.
All right, everybody, we are back on birthdays.
Birthdays!
It's going to be the 28th probably when you hear this. So I'll take you back 2 days. So if you were Wednesday the 26th, current, I guess, MMA fighter. I don't know if he's still in the MMA or not. CM Punk celebrates his birthday today. CM Punk turns 38. Well, he celebrated 2 days ago. Sorry. Him and Taka Michinoku share a birthday.
Really?
Yeah. Yesterday was the 27th. That would have been a happy birthday to one Harvey Whippleman, legendary WWE manager or WWF. Today, the 28th, is an actually pretty loaded day, Keish. I'm going to go. Perennial jobber, Iron Mike Sharp. Birthday is today. I don't know if Iron Mike Sharp is still in the league.
Wow.
I say still in the league. I mean, like the League of Life.
All right.
You know, it's kind of funny. Like, you know how you do these shows and you forget you do these shows from a computer?
Like, wait, I got the touch of the internet right here.
Oh, yeah. Iron Mike Sharp died at the beginning of this year. Just before we got back on the air, Keith, we was talking about how 2016, we lost too many people.
Yeah.
Mike Sharp, first part of this year.
All right.
He left us. He joined them great jobs in the sky. Christy Hemme, TNA announcer extraordinaire, and MVP Montel Vontavious Porter celebrates a birthday today. MVP is 45. Wow.
Oh, man. Really?
No, sorry, 43. I added 2 more years. It's 43. People go sue me in math class. They go like, them grades got to be fraud. Ain't no way he passed math. Nah.
I'm not dealing with you.
Which funny. Why do we take words with TH and put an F on the end instead?
I don't know. I don't even know who started it. I don't know who started it.
It's math. Which, hey man, people been calling me Keith since I've been little. My name is Keith.
But anybody with the name Keith is it just sounds like that. Like,
yeah, it ain't no KEIF. It's TH, but we don't give a fuck about that TH. We'll smack an F on that bitch. Just an observation from my old broken grammar.
I'm not dealing with you, not today.
You know what? That is your new line. Sunday. Who am I not dealing with? You. I forgot what we was talking about. But we was at the house. You was like, yep, I'm not dealing with you. And I'm pretty sure it was just an observation that I had about the world. And maybe
it was. I don't remember what we was talking about, but I'm pretty sure if I said it, it was well warranted. So that's all I'm saying.
Here's the thing, because I go through this with everybody around me. People say things, and then I say something, and it's always deemed like I took it too far. I'm the one who took it too far. First of all, you know you can't say certain things around me because I am not equipped to just let things go by.
Right. That's true.
I'm not stable enough for that. But nope. Y'all just lay it out there past me.
I'm not going to lie. Most of the time, I'm waiting for your response, so I just sit there. And I'll be like, I know he caught that, and he's going to respond in a minute. Right? I'll just be sitting there anticipating it. Right? And I'll just be looking. I try not to stare, but I swear I'll be just looking like, he going to say something in a minute. I know he is. Oh, there you go.
And I don't know why y'all sit there looking shocked at me. I didn't make myself like this. This crazy came from like years of exposure. I'm just saying, if you think this is crazy, y'all, I gotta get the original Keith on the show. the Keith Hope that started all of this.
That man, and Lord help me, I can't. I've always told people, it's funny, I was talking about that, I think with a coworker one day, I said, people do not understand, like, my friends for pretty much all my life, the ones that have met our father, have always said, like, I like your dad. And I'm like, my dad is crazy. Like, do you not, like, are you?
You like it because it ain't a full-time job.
Right. I'm like, okay, see, but you get to go home and like you go home and like you're not right here. Like I'm right here. This is like been 5 minutes for you. This has been all my life. Like I'm gonna really need. Like I'm like, but I have to honestly say that is one of. It's not the most hilarious man I've ever met in life. Like I swear that I can't. Sometimes I die laughing, and it's because he out of his mind. I don't know what. I don't know. People think that, I think it's funny because I think people think that this is just us. Like this did not come from somewhere else. And I'll be like, have you not met my parents? No, you haven't. Okay. Like, I'm pretty sure after 20 minutes of being in a room with them, you realize that this was not, I didn't just wake up like this one day. Like this, So, Because as much as I love our mama, man, oof. That woman now, Lord help me. Okay, enough of this.
All right, no, we good, we good. So let's talk about the WWE is to invest in a new streaming service called FloSlam.
FloSlam.
Now, this is gonna change the game, Keish. Because see, WWE Live already has a partnership with FloSlam. If you don't know who WWE Live is, they control Full Impact Pro Wrestling. They control what used to be Dragon Gate, Shine, and a few other things. And they are affiliated with the WWE. They have a working agreement with Triple H, with my main man, Gabe Sapolsky, and basically do a little bit of talent exchange, and they kind of help guys get polished before they come to NXT. They also serve as a ground where, you know, different guys from NXT can come down and work and learn and hone their craft, and it's a wonderful place. Also, it's a good place for the WWE scout talent and get to know some of these guys, right?
Right.
A lot of where your Cruiserweight tournament came out of this partnership. Well, let me give you a little bit about FloSlam. Is FloSlam.tv. All the WWE Live stuff is going there. But multiple indie promotions broadcast their pay-per-views on this network.
Really?
Yes. So I think what the WWE is going to help them out with is a little bit of cash flow, kind of like a Shark Tank. And they go to offer a subscription service where maybe you can have access to all the indies and all their pay-per-views and all their shows that they put out there. And I mean all the, not, but just a good bulk of the indies. This could be a game changer. And the WWE invested in it, to me, is very interesting, but I get it. They want this thing to have viability because what? They need a college football, right? That's the best way to put it. The NFL has college football. College football is a totally separate entity from the NFL, but you know what they do for the NFL? They produce players. They produce an inventory of players that the NFL can then pay to access and then, in turn, you know, make NFL players out of. Well,
right.
The rest of the world needs a place where guys can grow. They can get TV experience. Because I think a lot of indie guys, the difference between them and the guys that came out to territories back in the day, the guys in the territories got television experience. So they knew how to wrestle on TV. They knew how to wrestle for a camera, not cover certain angles and do certain things. And then, I mean, they learned the value of it. So, and that there's business to be had from it. This is going to be interesting. That's all I would say.
That is going to be interesting.
But yeah, FloSlam will be hosting live coverage and replays of all future WWE Live promotions, along with archives dating back to 2003. So, if you watch Mercury Rising 2011, April, from a little place in Atlanta, yeah, the guy on the second row is me. Just saying.
I'm not doing what you keep.
Basically, what the subscription is now, it will cost $20 a month and $150 annually. So you can pay $150 up front and have it for the year.
That's awesome.
Now, you know who also got something? I didn't know Amazon Prime had like a whole other wrestling stream.
Stop lying.
Look, I got a Fire Stick this week. So I'm fucking around, and I put in wrestling and stuff like that. You got to have Prime, but then for $5.99 a month, you can get this thing, and they got all kinds of wrestling videos, and you can watch different wrestling promotions from all over the world. They got Resistance Pro. They got a few other things, right? Some stuff from England. You know, I was like, man, this is crazy. So a lot of people out there with this stuff. So I'm interested.
Why don't I ever know about these things, man? Like,
I found out today. Like, as I'm talking to you about this, and the only reason I'm bringing it up just because I saw about the other streaming service. But the WWE is getting involved, and I hope it's not a bad thing. Like, I hope they just kind of let them still do them.
Right.
Because that's what's important in all this. WWE is getting involved in it, and they are an investor. And there's another, the news story that comes kind of with it. Yeah. So basically, WWE Live talks about it, but they talk about like they invested in a streaming service. The company's based out of Austin, Texas, and they're gonna have apps for Roku and Apple TV that will drop soon. So the company received $21 million in new funding to get this thing rolling.
Right.
And WWE was one of the investors. And, I think they just want access to that library.
Of course.
They like libraries.
I mean, why wouldn't they?
No, I agree. But yeah, they love the libraries. I'm trying to get to the next story because I got it. Here we go. So, Chyna's mother gets approval by court to run Chyna's estate, and ex-manager loses control.
Really?
Yeah. She has Chyna's that she's now in control of the estate. Her former manager has zero control now, and it's for the best. Janet-elect, Chyna's mother, sent a statement to Pro Wrestling Sheet. My petition in the LA Superior Court to become Jody's estate administrator with special letters has been approved and going through. Yay! This is a very big deal for me. And I bet it is, because it's her child.
Right.
Janet had asked the detective to take a closer look into her daughter's death, but particularly comments made by Chyna's former manager when she had passed. Now I'm beginning to work with getting it all together with the help of our wonderful California attorneys and looking into what has gone on since her death. Should be interesting. Chyna's former representative has some comments to say about it as well. I'm not at war with Chyna's mother. She should be the executor. I am just here merely to help with what it is asked upon me. A happy conclusion nonetheless for her mother and likely for her attorneys. So, yeah, because they got to pay the attorney bills. I reached out to that manager a while back because he still runs the Twitter account.
Right.
And, it's kind of because I had asked Chyna to be on the show before, but she never got back. So I thought like he would be a good second best right now to kind of talk and kind of give us some clarification just what's going on with her. Are we going to get a movie out, or are we going to do a documentary that's going to happen? Something.
Right.
Because I do think she makes the Hall of Fame. Not this year, of course, but later on. Later on, I think she'll make the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, probably so.
Yeah, so that's happening. So Meltzer reports of another TNA lawsuit, and I'm going to say Meltzer reports because every other site cites his reports. Like nobody independently looked for this on their own.
Right.
I ain't saying they not being sued, Keisha. I'm just saying Meltzer is reported. And that's how I believe it.
Right.
Because I can't just keep going like it's fact because I don't know. And I did some research. I think I sent you a few legal documents and things that I have found. I ain't really got nothing on this lawsuit right now. But yeah. Kind of went brain fart there. But yeah, Meltzer Bank Direct is a company that they had a loan with or something like that. And they want their money too. So right now we have to Bank Direct, Billy Corgan, American Express Travel, and the state of Tennessee. All want some money.
Damn.
Now, Billy Corgan and Dixie, that lawsuit is real. And like I said, I leaked you some documents, some stuff that's got unsealed. And they went into court earlier today.
Right.
So, I think this is kind of, let you know that things are moving forward, but I don't see how this gets solved anytime soon.
I don't either. I really don't. Like, they owe a lot of money, and they are getting sued by a lot of people. This is getting ugly. I mean, it was our. I thought it was actually, now that everything has been put into perspective, it looks way uglier than I thought it was already. So, whew, this is crazy, man.
Yeah. No, I agree. So, let's go to SmackDown. Why not? You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm trying to think. Hold on, before I go to SmackDown. We was just about to go kind of really past the news. Lucha Underground has a deal with a broadcasting deal with TNT Germany. Yeah, so Turner Sports is getting back in the wrestling business with Lucha Underground, but they're just doing it in Germany.
Oh, man.
Should be interesting.
Wonder how that's going to go.
Yeah. But I'll say that. Let's just go into it. SmackDown, because I'm just brain farting all over this news. SmackDown. Kane opens up with a match with no DQ against Bray Wyatt, Keish.
I say that because how many times have we seen the same match? Like, what is this, like 1531? Like, I don't understand, like, why we are seeing this again. Like, it was funny because it started, we just talked about, when we did the Raw review, I just talked about matches starting the show. And it was like, okay, yay, but no. Like, I want to say beggars can't be choosers, but how many times have we seen this same match? Like, I just...
Well, this one provided a wrinkle. Luke Harper got involved, as usual.
Right.
And Randy Orton came down. But when Orton came down, it got a little different. Like the him and Kane was both setting up, which I don't... You had to know something was wrong there because ain't nobody going to hit an RKO or somebody being chokeslam. You can't do it both.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, trust me, I tried to work out the chokeslam long distance in my head. And, try to keep that leg part while you're sitting on somebody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A little too much work. But Randy Orton hit the RKO on Kane. And in the backstage interview said if you can't beat him, join him. Is Randy Orton joining the Wyatt family, Keish?
I'm not going to lie. If he is, I'm way too excited about this situation. I really can't even... I'm not even going to sit here and act like I wouldn't be. If Randy Orton becomes a member of the Wyatt family, like, I really would like to know how this is going to work out. You know? Like, I really seriously would like to fully understand. This is two different dynamics that we're talking about here. Like, huh? Like, that would be interesting to see, though. If you can't beat him, join him. Those are his own words, so we gotta just tune in next week, I guess. I don't know. I'm about to say that's about as far as I can get with it right now.
Right. Becky Lynch made her way back. She got beat up by Alexa Bliss, but she's back.
Makes sense.
That happens.
Yeah, makes sense considering the circumstances. So yeah. When are they going to have their title match? Like they haven't had their title match yet.
No, and I don't think it's scheduled for the pay-per-view. So it could be coming. Oh, no, it is when they go to Scotland for Raw. They're going to do, not Raw, but SmackDown. Well, I guess Raw might be going too, but SmackDown is going to be like in Scotland. They're going over to Europe and doing some taping. So apparently, I think that they're saving that as a big match for that show.
Okay. I understand. I get it. That's cool. Because I was sitting there wondering, like, oh, when are they going to have their match exactly? Like, when is that going to happen? But now I know. So I'm excited for that. I mean, I'll leave it be for right now that I know, But I was really questioning it. Like, okay, so they definitely haven't had this title match yet. And Alexa Bliss has been the number one contender for, like, forever. But, I mean, I understand, the circumstances of why they haven't had it yet. Can't control what happens. But now that Becky is back, I'm like, okay, so when is the match schedule? But now we know. So we can continue talking about the rest of the show.
All right.
It was very, it got interesting, I must say.
The Hype Bros defeat the Ascension to qualify for the Survivor Series Tag Team match, or AKA, I ain't gonna call them the Cocaine Brothers. Just one of them appears to be high on coke, and the other one seems normal.
Keith, I keep telling people that he needs to be drug tested. Like, seriously, I keep telling folks, like, there's hype, and then there's his type of hype, and his type of hype is is like 10 times more than just regular hype, Right. He's a little too amped. Like, I don't know. Like, that's not natural. I'm just saying. But I digress. We're not gonna go into that. Not any further. But
no doubt.
They're the first qualifying tag team for the Survivor Series team, right? Like, there hasn't been any other for the Survivor Series team. Is that correct? They're the first to be named for the team.
Really?
Like, are they going to have? Oh yeah, other than the tag team champions, of course. I mean, why not? Why wouldn't the tag team champions be on the Survivor Series team? But I'm wondering, like, are they going to have qualifying matches for the rest of them, or are they just going to? I guess we just have to see.
Yeah, I think so. You got to remember too, we're like a month out.
Right.
So they got another pay-per-view beforehand. So I think we're going to work our way down and start having matches. You know what I mean? Probably start next week.
So I guess we'll see.
Right. But what else is going on? Nikki Bella will be the captain of the women's team after defeating Natty for that spot. But then, of course, she got beat down by Carmella again.
Why? Like, can we stop this already? Carmella annoys me. Like, she really does.
Yeah, I mean, she annoyed me too, and it's not like in that good heel sense of way. It's just like, oh, get off the screen. Right,
like
Carmella
gets on all my nerves.
Hey, you with the afro, boo! No, okay.
But seriously, like, it's crazy because I remember watching SmackDown and seeing, how they got the random facts about them when they come out. So I think she was a Laker girl, and I was like, Carmella's not even cute. Like, what the hell? Like, I feel like the long hair they give her, this is me being a female. So the long hair that they give her doesn't frame her face correctly, and they really need to shorten it. Like, because it being that long is really obnoxious for her, and it's really annoying. They seriously need to shorten her hair. And she definitely has a very annoying voice. If that is not her regular accent or like her tone, if that pitch is something she's just doing for the show, it needs to stop. Because, I mean, oh my God. Like, everything about her just annoys me. So, I'm just saying, I can't deal. And these random attacks on Nikki are just stupid. Because now they've definitely gotten to the point where it's just like, okay, you can't be serious, you know? There's no end game for this. You know what I'm saying? And that's where it really is just, it's like, why is this continuing? Can we just stop this already? But I don't know. I'm going to stop because I swear I can get into this all day. Like, people say the name Carmella, and I'm just like, like, I don't know anybody that likes her. Like, period. It's just kind of like, no. So, but maybe I'm wrong, you know. I'm pretty sure she has fans, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't be a fan of her if you want to be. Just know that I'm not. Like, I'm not a fan. Sorry. Not sorry. Congratulations, Nikki. Yay! That's how that goes. I only put Naomi on the team. Like, I really do hope Naomi is on the Survivor Series team. Because she's awesome. So.
No doubt. So, yeah, we go there. Rhino and Heath Slater defeat the Spirit Squad, retain the tag team titles because Miz was hanging out with tag team champs. I'm sorry, Ziggler was, and then Miz and the Spirit Squad talking junk. And then, hey, Spirit Squad took that L. Keish, 4 consecutive weeks of Spirit Squad on WWE television. One table, Confederate place had something in stock, which is very ironic. But end of the day, right. Keish, they look good. Slater was able to maneuver some people, and Rhino took advantage and hit that gore, and they were good to go.
Which is awesome.
I don't think they. I think they'll retain, but that's another story.
Right.
Like I said, you're feeling a reminder that 2 dudes for the Spirit Squad are at home, man. Like, I ain't get no check.
Somebody is extra angry right now. I mean, extra angry. But, you know, hey, ain't nothing we can do about that. So.
Yeah, true. Main event, Dean Ambrose loses to AJ Styles via disqualification because of one Mr. James Ellsworth.
Right. So this is where all this backfires in the worst way possible, because he not only gets him disqualified, but then he loses the number 1 contendership for the title because of it. Like, he loses his shot at being number 1 contender because James Ellsworth decided to jump in this match. Man, oh man. This was not the time for him to get revenge. Like, I was sitting there watching Dean's face and was like, man, that sucks. Like, I really was just kind of like, dude, that's awful. Like, like, there was nothing else I could really say about that. Like, I was like, oh, God. Like, that's horrible, man. Like, horrible. So, sucks, man. Sucks for Dean.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah. I think he'll get another title shot, but, I mean, he got to go around the world to get it.
Of course. Of course.
Shout out to him not beating the hell out of James Ellsworth.
Right.
So I think I'd be a little tired. So, like, why are you touching shit? No, but I get it. AJ hit him. He was upset. He woke up. He wanted to get him back, and he just snapped. But, you know.
It is what it is.
But, yeah. With that, I think we are going to take our second break, and then we'll come back with Hell in a Cell, and we will be out. So, this is a 3-parter, and I hope you all enjoy.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, as you can tell, Jim Cornette and the Midnight Express are ready to take on the world.
Let me tell you something, we are going to take on the world. We already have taken over the world. We're the World Tag Team Champions, the hottest commodity in wrestling.
The time in that Philadelphia Civic Center when Beautiful Bobby came off that top rope, landed on Arn Anderson's head. It changed in that brief moment the entire face of professional wrestling. We beat the odds, we beat the system, we beat the unbeatable team. Tully Blanchard, Arn Anderson, what you beat was a hasty retreat, brother. And in that same instant, Beautiful Bobby and Sweet Stan became recognized. We got the proof, brother. It ain't bragging, it's fact. We're the #1 tag team in professional wrestling. You want to talk about diversity club, brother? Rick Steiner won a letter in football, had to have somebody read it to him. You want to talk about Mike Rotundo? He loved school. High school was the happiest 9 years of Mike Rotundo's life. But let me tell you something, Varsity Club, and that little troll, Kevin Sullivan, don't come after us, brother, because we'll put you in the ground like a stake and make you 2 feet tall instead of the 4 feet 6 you are right now, Sullivan. Let me tell you something else while we're at it. Dusty Rhodes and any of his super partners, you're more than welcome to try. I already talked about the Fantastics. I already talked about the Road Warriors. I already talked about those sheep-shearing sheep herders. I'll give you something to shear, brother. The Midnight Express. If you can clip their wings, you're doing something, because we're the hottest thing going today, like it's been so often said. And J.J. Dillon, the 1988 poster boy for Alzheimer's disease, I heard you say that you're going to redeem yourself at my expense. Well, brother, the only thing J.J. Dillon is going to redeem is going to be some of those S&H green stamps he's been saving up. Get him a lawn chair for his old age, which began in 1957. So, J.J. Dillon, you are a victim of sour grapes, brother. You're a sore loser, just like all the losers are. But when it comes to the Midnight Express, that's all we wrestle as losers, because can't nobody beat us. This is unheard of. This has never before been done, never before even been attempted. All these championships, all these honors, and all these accolades, and whether you like the Midnight Express or not, the one thing you love the Midnight Express. Well, we love the Midnight Express too, and we don't care who else does, because we're out for ourselves, and we're out for one thing only, and that's to keep this glory. And whether you like it or not, you've now got to admit what I've been saying all along is the truth, because we got the proof. We're the #1 tag team in professional wrestling, and everybody else is playing catch-up now. It's been too long, David Crockett, since we started saying that we were the best, that everybody's been doubting us. Everybody's been saying, Cornette, you're just going off. It ain't true. Well, now, finally, no matter where you are in the world, even your little pea-brain, David Crockett, and that little weasel face of yours has to admit that we are the best of all time. We are #1. We're on top of the heap. And the only thing that's going to make it even sweeter, maybe, is when we get all these commercials and all these endorsements that are coming up. And most of all, when we go home and my mother says, Jimmy, you done a good job. And Bobby and Stan, I always knew you could do it. My mother being proud of me, that's going to be the best thing. Whoa! I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding.
All right. With the brand extension, we get extra pay-per-views every month. And for the Raw brand, it is their turn. They are producing Hell in a Cell.
That's correct.
Keisha, Satan Structure. You know how I feel about gimmick pay-per-views.
I know
feel like
you
they take
do.
some of the steam out of it because
Sure
they do it too much. I liked Hell in a Cell when it was a surprise.
Right.
I liked it when the guy was in the ring. He's the champ. He's arrogant. He's cocky. And that challenger, like, look, I want one more shot, but I just don't want it anywhere. I want to make sure there's no interference. I want to make sure that I want it at Hell in a Cell. You like, damn, it's going down in the DM. Like, it got real to you real quick, right? Keith,
right.
This don't get real to me. You know why it don't get real to me? Because I'm like, man, Hell in a Cell coming up. Somebody got to get in that cell.
Right. That's
so I know somebody got to get in there, right? I know somebody got to end up in there. So just logic, and then I'll play the stats later.
Exactly. I mean, how else are you supposed to think about it now? This is just how it's been set up. So it's different now. Like before, it was like, oh Lord, you know. Now it's just kind of like, okay, who's getting in it this time? Like, you know, like that's just pretty much where it's at this point. It's like, okay, who's getting in it this time? Like,
right.
I'm like, I think it's going to be such and such and such and such. Like, you start making predictions and stuff and all that. Beforehand, it was just a surprise. Like, you didn't know that it was even going to happen, let alone it being, let alone you guessing who's going to get in it. So, totally different situation. Totally different situation.
This cell debuted in '97. The first match was Undertaker and Shawn Michaels. It ended with Taker losing because of Kane.
It's gotta be Kane.
Yeah, which is the beginning of that feud. Lena just blew $90 million on elections, so she needed to do something else anyway. Well, no, I think she prepared, but I think she didn't do it. I think somebody else had the pleasure of handing it off. But yeah, it's crazy. Most wins, I believe, is Undertaker. Behind that, Triple H.
Right.
Also, your friendly reminder that, hey, he may be the son-in-law, but he puts in his work.
True.
But neither here nor there. This card is loaded. From what I got, the pre-show is supposed to kick off with a 6-man tag team match with the Cruiserweights. Cedric Alexander, Lince Dorado, and Sin Cara will take on Tony Nese, Drew Gulak, and Araya Daivari, which is little Daivari, little brother. Who knew? But that's going to be on the kickoff show. So if you tune in about 7 o'clock, 7:30, you should be able to see that one.
I definitely will be tuning in.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying. So, I actually watch the kickoff shows. I don't know if anybody else does, but I watch them.
I think we do part of our media obligations. I mean, we do a little something, but yeah, I don't know if a lot of people watch them either. So that happened. Bayley and Dana Brooke are added to the card. As a women's match. Yes.
Awesome.
The only one I had booked was Charlotte, but Bayley and Dana will settle their issue at Hell in a Cell. They will not get in the cell, of course, but they will settle their issue. And, hey, I learned something. Fabric is expensive.
You didn't know that? Fabric is definitely expensive. It's really expensive. Especially good fabric. Like really, really good fabric.
Right. But that is that. Well, you know what? Let's go to the first match, Keish. Cedric Alexander, Lince, and Sin Cara versus Tony, Drew, and Daivari. I'm going to go with the baby faces. I got Cedric Alexander and crew. I think they open up. They make you feel all warm and fuzzy inside.
Really?
So I'm going to go with that. No, they don't. But they just sound something to say. No, they don't. It's just getting late. So no, they don't.
I'm not dealing with you.
We get you a T-shirt to say that. Along with a T-shirt to say "Papa whoop the babies." But
no,
there's a whole other discussion. I'm telling you, I think that's an old man demographic that would love that. Papa whoop the babies.
I'm pretty sure that's why I told you that I'm not dealing with you. Like, I swear.
Yeah. Bayley and Dana Brooke, who you got, Keish?
Bayley.
I agree.
I got Bayley.
I don't think they brought her this far to leave her here. Ain't that a gospel song? Anyway.
What?
No, Jesus didn't bring me this far just to leave me here. Ain't that something? But okay. Anyway, Bayley, this is her big coming out party.
Right.
And it's going to be big for Dana too. I think they're going to get some shine on a pay-per-view. It's a one-on-one match. I'm saying they're going to give them about 5.5 minutes. Like they still not going to get like 15. This is like 5.5 minutes, right?
Right.
It may be a palate cleanser. And what I mean by that, like it just be something in between to break up the shows. I haven't seen anything new to dictate anything else. So yeah, Bayley all the way. Enzo and Big Cass versus Luke Gallows and Karl Anderson, Keish. Which one of these tag teams will emerge? Because, I mean, this means something in the world of, like, becoming a contender and stuff like that.
Honestly, personal opinion, Gallows and Anderson. I think Gallows and Anderson are going to emerge. I believe that they are probably the ones that are more favorable as far as being the contenders, the number one contenders goes, or just getting into the contender picture in general. Like Enzo and Cass are awesome, but I think that as far as actually jumping into that scene, Gallows and Anderson are definitely my pick for this. Besides, I mean, in order to continue something, you know, there has to be wins and losses along the way. So Gallows and Anderson, I feel like, are going to be the tag team that's going to emerge from this match in particular to kind of bring them out of that, you know, pay-per-view L's, you know, funk that they've been in. Because we just been seeing them lose at pay-per-views lately, and I think this is what's going to drag them out. It's going to be the beginning of that. So I'm going with Gallows and Anderson.
Yeah. Here's what I'm gonna say. With this one, I'm gonna go Gallows and Anderson. Something tells me that the heels are gonna win that one.
It just doesn't seem like it's. I don't really feel that Enzo and Cass are going to take this one. Like, I really think this is going to be in the hands of Gallows and Anderson.
Right.
So I really think Karl and Luke are going to pull this off.
Tag team champions: New Day versus Sheamus and Cesaro. Who are you going in with?
I'm going to go with the New Day. Just because Sheamus and Cesaro beat them on Raw doesn't mean a thing. It doesn't. And I didn't see that as foreseeing the future because, of course, we've always seen different, you know? So I think the New Day are going to still continue to retain, and we'll probably see them change. The title will change hands eventually, but it won't be with Sheamus and Cesaro. Not yet. Maybe later, but not right now. So, I don't see the New Day title. You know. No. I don't think that's going to happen.
Well, yeah, I think Demolition's record is coming down slowly but surely.
Right.
And like I said, New Day keeps the belts. Nothing else really go from there. T.J. Perkins, Brian Kendrick, Cruiserweight title. What you think?
This is a tough one for me because I want to really say that Perkins retains because I don't know if I really think they're actually going to give Brian Kendrick the belt. You know, I really think he's here for the feud, but not necessarily like to hold a title. I won't say that it won't happen. I'm just saying, like, this is just kind of how I see it right now. T.J. Perkins definitely, I feel like he's going to retain. I think that this is going to go, he's going to continue his title reign for a little longer than expected right now. I mean, yeah, like I really, this is just how I see things. So, my pick is the champion. I feel like he's just going to retain.
Yeah, and I'll agree. I think T.J. Perkins does keep the Cruiserweight title. There's no reason to think he's going to lose the belt. Like, I could draw it. There's no reason to think he's going to lose.
Right.
Now on to the trilateral main event, Keish, which is probably going to be spread out over the course of the show.
I'm pretty sure it will be.
Sasha Banks, the boss, our girl, number one contender.
Oh, Lord. Am I really choosing a winner for this?
Yeah.
I don't really know how to tell the truth, because this is the first women's match inside of Hell in a Cell. So, I don't know how to really choose a winner for this match. I really want to say Sasha retains. Like, I really want to say, and I'm going to say it, is Sasha does not lose the title this way. I mean, to me, this gives Charlotte this opens the door for Charlotte to do whatever she wants to win this match. I mean, whatever she wants to win this match. But I think that Sasha will prevail. Seriously, I really think that this will be a great loss for Charlotte. And, I mean, it could continue this feud between the two women, but I really don't see Charlotte taking this away from her. Like, I just don't. I think that this match belongs to the boss. Period. And that's an answer I am sticking to. I am not wavering from it. I am so excited about this in general. Like, there's nothing anybody can say that's going to stop me from. So I'm going to watch every second of this match. I swear I am. Yeah. So, Sasha, all the way.
Okay. Yeah, I don't see how you not go. I think Sasha takes this. And whoever comes out of the Bayley Dana Brooke match will probably try to challenge. But yeah, Sasha comes out of this. There's no even speculation of why. It's Sasha, right?
Right.
Rusev challenges Roman Reigns for his title. Title that Roman won. Fair and square. I like the words fair and square. So,
of course.
Guys in for business. I think Roman wins this too. Why? Because I think we need a hero, and they're going to try to shoehorn us a hero, whether we like that hero or not. And, hey, man, they don't care if Roman get booed. They keep sure. But Roman's selling merch, too. So, you know what I mean? Somebody like him. They just ain't admit it.
Right. They're not going to say it out loud. Like, yeah, Roman, he's cool, but they like him, though. I like him, too. That's why I agree with you. I believe he's going to win. Rusev might be tough and, big and, all that, but I don't think that he's going to beat Roman Reigns inside the cell. Like, it's not a personal bias or anything like that. I just seriously think that I believe that Roman is not going to put down this belt yet. So, we'll see what happens, but I think that this match belongs to Reigns, But, there's always the possibility of him losing it the next night on Raw. So, there's that too. But I don't think that's going to happen either. So, can we both agree that? I think that is possible. So, but, it's always good to be the chance that doesn't happen.
Right. It's easy for me, Keith. I'm going down. I think Owens retains. Did I preview that match? Okay, Kevin Owens in a triple threat. Not triple threat. Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins, Hell in a Cell, WWE Universal title.
Right.
Too much just getting late, Keith. That's all I can tell you.
Right.
Rounds all day. What about you?
I don't know, really. It's hard for me to choose between the two. I mean, I can understand Kevin retaining because it would definitely make for great TV, but Seth would too, you know. Taking the belt from Owens and throwing it in the face of Triple H and him, it would really spice things up around here. But man, Owens retaining would be so much bigger of a blow. I don't know who to choose. It's really hard for me to say that I have a definite winner in mind for this match because I really don't. I don't. Like, I don't. I really don't know. I don't know. If I had to really go with gut feeling, I feel like Owens is going to win. Like, I really feel like there's not going to be anything that's going to stop him from retaining that belt. Like, I really seriously don't see him losing that title. Seth, he might lose it later on in other circumstances, but it won't be at Hell in a Cell.
Yep, with that. Yeah, like I said, Owens keeps the belt. There's no way he's dropping that belt this early. I think they're going to string the storyline out a while. And I think they're going to try to find him a money opponent. Not that Rollins is not a money opponent, but we've seen Rollins, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think No Mercy was like the first pay-per-view in like a couple of years that no Shield member was in the finals. Was in the main event.
Yeah.
So I don't say people are tired of it, but I'm just saying that, like, I think we will see something a little different. I think Owens retains. You got Jericho with his shenanigans. He'll probably be outside the ring, but he'll still be enough of a distraction. And I'm going to walk that away, the Undertaker. So, with that being said, we're going to wrap this up this week, and we're going to holler at y'all next week.
All right.
All right. Peace.
Bye.